Marcus, and I'm joined by Don Powell, class of '56. My fourth year on this particular stand, and Don, you're in double figures with the telecast.
That's right. This is our 11th year to have a live telecast of the Fighting Texas Aggie Bonfire. We're going to have a lot of excitement here tonight, Greg, and everybody here across the land is going to be able to see it on HSE.
And of course, the folks that have not been with us before or are not Aggies or former students, you stay with us. We'll talk about the traditions. We'll meet with some of the dignitaries at the university, including the football coach and some of the players. It's all coming up right here. Stay with us.
Go to the north side of Kyle Field.
To the right!
Right there, right
there! Aggie Bonfire 89 is brought to you by Granada Foods and Granada Biosciences, two companies providing excellence in food and genetic products. Recently named by the Wall Street Journal as companies among a select few poised to lead businesses into the 90s, expanding both domestically and internationally by being leaders in their exciting fields. Granada Foods and Granada Biosciences, companies of the 90s. And by the Association of Former Students at Texas A&M University, 150,000 members strong.
All right, we're back at the Fighting Texas Aggie Bonfire here in College Station, Texas, and I have with me the president of Texas A&M University, Dr. William Mobley, and his wife, Jane. Dr. Mobley, how are you? We're glad to have you here again at the bonfire.
Delighted to be here, Don.
You live right across the street from all of this. Tell me what's been going on for the last month.
Well, this is a month-long process. Literally thousands of students from all segments of the university participate in building bonfire, and it is probably as unique and meaningful a team-building exercise as one could ever imagine. We come over sometimes in the evenings. It's a great opportunity for us to talk with the students, and it is a great tradition, and as I say, an extremely meaningful team-building. It has a lot more to do than just tonight in football. It's a great bonding exercise.
Yes. The main part is all that goes on before tonight.
Absolutely.
And it's important to Texas A&M and to our former students as well. I understand we've had some people up on the stack this year that haven't been up there before. Anybody that you know that might have been up there?
There might be the person on my left that ventured up there.
Ms. Mobley, have you been on the stack?
Yes, I went up on fourth stack.
On the fourth stack?
Fourth stack.
Folks, if you don't know, the bonfire is 6 stacks tall. It's made out of logs, made out of wood that we chopped down out of the forest, and you've been up 4 levels.
That's right.
How was it?
Actually safer than I thought it was going to be, because I had some young men around me that were kind of protecting me.
Yeah,
so it worked out well.
Put you up on a swing set?
They sure did. Yeah. I didn't have to climb.
Some of you folks don't know, but Mrs. Mobley is an Aggie. She's a class of '85.
That's correct.
So you need to be up on the bonfire.
Absolutely.
Well, it was wonderful to be up there, I'm sure.
I loved it. Thank you.
Well, we're glad you could.
Don, could I just say something with respect to our student leadership on this campus?
Our student leaders for months have been working extremely hard on the safety dimension of it,
on protecting the property rights of our neighbors around the campus, and on decorum here tonight. And I've got to commend just the outstanding student leadership, the Red Pots, and students from throughout the campus that have worked for months to make this an exciting event, a positive event, and I just commend them for this and all the other excellent leadership activities that they exhibit on behalf of this university.
Well, we're indeed fortunate to have such a fine student body.
Couldn't agree more.
And we have a fine former student group also that's helping us to put this show on.
You bet.
We're so glad that you were here.
Thanks for being here.
Nice to see you again, Ms. Mobley. Nice to see you. I have somebody else that you'll want to meet. Speaking from the Association of Former Students, is what we call alumni here at Texas A&M University. And I have the president of the Texas A&M University Association of Former Students and his wife. This is Richard Williford from Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
From Tulsa, Oklahoma.
But you're a Texas Aggie. Yes, I am.
Mr. Williford, we're so pleased that you're here on the bonfire platform tonight. And this is
you,
your
Don.
wife here. She's got a Texas Aggie hat
My
on.
wife Molly, that's right.
Yes, how are you?
She's a converted Texas.
Well, the bonfire is quite a bit larger than when you and I were here in school.
Well, it is a little bit, but not that much, Don. We did it a little different way, but looks the same.
Well, we've moved over to this site in 1955. We used to be on the main drill field, right?
Right.
And,
Exactly.
But we moved over here, and we thought we had more room then, but we're outgrowing this spot now.
Well, it looks that way. Of course, the university's grown quite a bit from some 5,000 to 6,000 students now until we have 40,000.
Yeah, 40,000. Well, tell me about the alumni that we call former students here.
It's my pleasure to be president of the association for 1989
And to represent more than 150,000 former students.
A very active group, I know.
We are an active group, and we take great pride in our university and do everything we can to help.
That's one of the things about this university. If you've been touched by the spirit of Aggie Land, you want to stay in touch with it forever.
That's true. That's true. And of course, bonfire is one of our great traditions, and we celebrate it. It has two purposes: one, a burning desire of every Aggie to beat TU or University of Texas.
That's right.
And
well, it's going to be a big game tomorrow too.
it certainly will.
We're going to make it 6 in a row. Is that right?
That's correct. And that's a big record for us.
Okay. Well, we've got the coach here that's ready to talk to us, and Greg Lucas is standing by. We're glad to see you. Molly, we're glad you were here too. Okay, Greg.
Okay, Don, as you see, the torches are lit, and while the torches start making their way toward the stack, a couple of quick words with R.C. Slocum. This is your first opportunity to be the head man up here in front of this bonfire. It's some experience, huh?
It really is. Words does not describe being up here. Every year, I've seen a number of these things over the years.
Everyone is unique, and it's the same thing every year. It's about as exciting event as we have here.
Big game, obviously, against TU, as it is known here in Aggie Land. It's been an up-and-down team. Kind of don't know what kind of opponent you're facing tomorrow.
Oh, I think we know. We'll play a good opponent. They'll be fired up. They've got good players, and this is a big game every year. They'll give us their best shot.
You've had an outstanding year. You're bowl-bound. You're going to be playing Pittsburgh in the John Hancock Sun Bowl in El Paso.
What hamper to your first year as head coach?
Well, it's not exactly what we had hoped for, but if we can't go to the Cotton Bowl winning championship this year,
we will be back with more as the torches head toward the stack.
You stay with us. We will take a look at the torches as they get set to move in. I guess we will hold it right here for a moment, Don, as we're getting set for them to move on. It'll take a couple minutes for them to get to the stack, but we want to make sure we catch them coming in.
Well, the torches are lit. They're right on time tonight. They're going to be marching down here from the red pots, which they are the people who are in charge. Those are the students with the red helmets. That's why they're called red pots. And they are coordinating building this bonfire, and of course they get the privilege of lighting it. And those torches that you see on camera now are held by the red pots and by the drum majors of the Fighting Texas Aggie Band, which will be coming along here in just any second now. They have lit the torches, and they're going to march around this stack, this huge stack which is 55 feet high, with those torches, and after they've been around 3 times, they'll throw those torches up there and you'll see the biggest fire you've ever seen.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of this event. This is actually celebrating 80 years. 1909 was the first year there was a bonfire. 1963 there was none in honor of the, or I guess in remembrance actually, of President Kennedy, who had been assassinated just not too long before. But it's been a tradition that started as a trash fire basically, and now is quite an engineering feat.
That's correct. It did start as a trash fire. When they got to into 1936 was the first time that they actually used logs for it, and they have used logs for it ever since. They put a center pole there, which is like a telephone pole spliced together to give you that 55 feet height, and they stack these logs around it. You see the torches going ahead now, and notice the red dots out there in front with the torches. They're being followed by the yell leaders and followed by the Fighting Texas Aggie Band. The Fighting Texas Aggie Band, the bugle rank, which are the seniors on the front row, have got the white helmets on, and you can hear the music now, and they're leading them towards the bonfire.
As a matter of fact, Don, we've actually got the best vantage point we've had because of the change in direction of the march in. People are getting a real good shot at home as they march toward the stack.
And you can hear everybody singing. They're playing the Aggie War Hymn, which is the fight song of this school. And let me say, I've got the band director here as the band comes by, Colonel Ray Toller, who is the director of the Fighting Texas Aggie Band, and he's in his first year at Aggie Land. Colonel Toller, we're so glad to have you on the platform today, too.
Thank you, Don.
You see your band going by there. They've got white helmets on the bugle rank, and what a great band.
Thank you. We're just it's such a great tradition and a great honor for us to be here, and we're just really excited about this.
I guess you're a fish. They call freshmen around here a fish, and this is your first year.
This is it.
Fish Toller.
I'm Fish Toller. That's true.
Well, has it been an exciting year?
It's been a great year, Don. We've just had a great time. The band has really worked hard, and
One might say they made me look good this year.
How do you get in the Texas Aggie Band? They wanted to be a member of the Fighting Texas Aggie Band.
well, if they want to be in the band, they need to have been in our high school band, have had some marching and playing experience, and they join the Corps when they come here to be at A&M, and we take them into the band as well.
You mentioned the Corps. That's the Corps of Cadets.
Corps of Cadets, yes, sir.
It's a full-time military organization on campus.
That's right, and the band is an organization within the Corps, and we all live together in the dorm 11 here on the quad, and it's just a regular military-style outfit.
Well, speaking of military, you spent quite a bit of time in the military yourself.
I did. I had almost 23 years in the Air Force, and wonderful years. We had a great career in the Air Force.
You got a great drill worked out for tomorrow?
Oh, I think so. I think people will enjoy it quite well.
And you're going to go to a bowl game your first year here?
Yes, sir. Go out to the
John Hancock Bowl, and we're excited about that.
You and RC both in the first year have had a good season.
That's right. Our fish years, it's been wonderful to be on the same team with RC.
Colonel, we're glad you're here, and we wish you many more years of success in the Fighting Texas Aggie Band.
Thank you, Don. Enjoy it.
Good to see you. Yep. Greg, looks like they're getting ready to go around the stack now.
They're marching around, and of course, once they get it lit, you'll have an opportunity to chat with the bonfire advisor. In fact, I guess he's already in place, so let's let him talk to you while we're watching the fire be lit.
I've got Bill Kibler here, who is in the Vice President for Student Services office, and his main function now is as the bonfire advisor. Bill, how long have you been being the bonfire advisor?
This is my 7th bonfire as the advisor.
Your 7th bonfire. I notice you've got your helmet here. You've got red pots out there. You've got a gray pot. Is that because you've got gray hair, or?
No, that's just the color it was. It's sort of a silver.
Oh, it's a silver pot.
There really is no official color for the advisor.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, can you tell us a little bit about what's happening right now?
Right now, the red pots, the yell leaders, and the drum majors are marching around the stack with the torches, followed by the band. They'll go around 2 times, then the band will move back into place, and then in just a couple minutes, they'll throw the torches on and light it.
I see there's a structure on top of the bonfire. What? Can you tell me about how it got up there?
Well, that's called an outhouse.
Outhouse?
In the old days, they used to go out and procure one from the countryside, but for the last many years, the band actually builds that structure. It's special made just to go on top of the stack.
It's kind of difficult to find an outhouse these days.
That's right.
I understand they used to refer to that as the University of Texas Tea Room.
That's one of the nicknames it has. That's correct. So that's why it's painted orange. It represents the University of Texas.
I know some city limit signs on there that said Austin on it. Those surely are not taken from the highway department, are they?
No, they're specially made. We have the city sign department that makes them just for us. That's why they look so authentic, but if you read them carefully, you'll realize that they have some kind of unique numbers on them. They're specially made for the red pots to put on the stack.
Well, this bonfire is quite a sight to see. Those people that are at home that have not seen it in person cannot believe what we see here tonight. There's probably 40, maybe 50,000 people here on this field, which is known as Duncan Field. It's the area right behind the Corps of Cadets dormitories. But everybody works on the bonfire, not just the Corps of Cadets.
That's true. We have students from the entire student body that work on the bonfire, literally thousands of them throughout the fall.
How long has the work actually been taking place on the bonfire?
Bonfire's a year-round project, but the actual work of cutting the wood and building the stack takes about 2 months. So we began in early October.
Early October?
Yes.
And we actually put the center pole up.
The center pole was put up right at the beginning of November, so it's been up a month.
It's quite a feat to get all of this done. The students have got to go to class, and they've got to do all this at the same time. You make sure everybody gets in the right amount of time in class and the right amount of time on the bonfire, right?
Well, class is a very high priority, and so it's important for the students to balance their time, and they do a good job of that.
Well, this is a unique situation. It looks like the torches are being thrown in the bonfire now, and there it goes up, and it's quite a sight to see. A 55-foot tall stack of logs, symmetrically designed.
That's correct.
So that it has a teepee effect to it. The people are going to start to move back, as you can see on camera now. That's quite a bit of heat coming from that bonfire.
Yeah, it'll scorch your face if you're too close.
That's right. We can feel we're a considerable distance. I'd say that we're a city block away from the bonfire right now, and you can feel the heat right now.
Yes, yes.
You can see that bonfire from miles away. And there's not another school that has anything like this that I know of.
No, there are a lot of universities that have bonfires, but most of them are sort of trash fires that are thrown together.
We just heard a loud bang. Can you tell us about that?
That's the cannon from the Corps of Cadets that the cab brings in.
They have a cannon that they parade at all the football games, and they fire it when we score touchdowns. They fire it to start the ball games. They fire it to start parades. And they fire it to start this bonfire off.
Correct.
Well, that's a tremendous fire. It looks like it's going to be, everybody's going to be proud of this bonfire because it's really blazing. You see the outhouse up there catching on fire now.
It's beautiful. There's no wind tonight, hardly at all, and so it's burning straight up. It really looks good.
Don, if I could ask you to ask a question regarding what helps ignite this fire. Obviously, it's not just the logs.
Yeah, Bill, how come it went up in smoke, went up in fire so quick?
Well, every year after it's built, we have the fire training school comes in, and they actually pump fuel on the fire to help get it started.
Now, you mentioned the fire training school. That's a part of Texas A&M.
Part of the Texas A&M University system.
They train firemen from throughout the country.
That's correct. And so they bring a fuel truck out, and they will pump. For instance, tonight they pumped about 200 gallons of fuel. They just sort of spray it on the fire just to help get it started.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming on and give us some information about that. We're going to take a little break now while the fire is burning before we start the yell practice here. We're going to have a Fighting Texas Aggie yell practice, and everybody across the land can find out what it's like to be a Texas Aggie. So we'll be right back live with the bonfire from Texas A&M. Okay, we're back here live at Aggie Land with the bonfire, and I've got a guest with us. We've got a guest with us here who is Raul Fernandez from the class of 1959, but he is a member of our Board of Regents here at the Texas A&M University system. Raul, we're so glad to have you here.
Well, thank you very much. This is a wonderful bonfire and a great day for Texas A&M.
It is a great day. All these students work so hard on this. Remember when you worked in the bonfire?
I stacked that bonfire because that was my job, and it's a wonderful memory, and it's great to be here.
And the memory is the work on the bonfire more than
the fellowship, the leadership training, all those kinds of things that go about working about something you believe in and making something happen.
You know, that's one of the important things about Texas A&M University. The students of yesteryear and the students of today have a common bond that they've done the same things together, even though they're years apart.
Very much so, and we have a commonality in that respect, no question.
And it's a special place. We're getting ready to have yell practice here in a minute. The yell leaders are making their way back up here, and I know that everybody remembers all the yells too.
I know every one of them, and nobody ever forgets that.
That's a unique thing about this school, is that everybody knows the school songs, everybody knows the yells, and you don't forget them.
Let me thank you for the great job that you're doing here, but for Texas A&M, for the Corps of Cadets, for all those things, the university, and all of our students. All of our students are great, and you've helped so much.
Well, I appreciate that. We've got a lot of fine folks here, and all of us just try to do what we can to keep Texas A&M alive and to keep Texas A&M going and have a unique place in this country and in the world, for that matter, because we touch things all over the world now from Texas A&M University.
Super. Super to be an Aggie. Super to be here with you tonight.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, Greg, we've got Greg back here. The yell practice is going to start in just a minute as soon as the yell leaders make their way back up through this tremendous crowd. We may have a better crowd than we've ever had, Greg.
I think we sure do on the platform anyway.
We have some extra guests on the platform tonight that have made it a little bit more
Crowded, but there it is.
But on the field also, there are, I would guess from what I can see, that there must be 50,000 people here tonight. And they're all looking forward not only to this bonfire, but to a football game tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, Texas and Texas A&M, a big rivalry regardless of records. And, of course, it's a real big one coming up tomorrow. You know, it's interesting, too, to talk a little bit about the traditions of this bonfire. There was a time that both schools had bonfires, and it got to be guerrilla warfare as students from each side would try to set the other one off a little bit early. It got so you had armed camps sometimes around the campuses. Well, that's no longer the case. It's more civilized now.
Well, perhaps it's more civilized. In my day, when I was here in the 50s, we guarded this bonfire as if it were an armed camp. They surrounded the entire campus, 24-hour guard duty. The University of Texas gave up their bonfire. They decided it was too much of a hard work. And there's a slogan here about Aggie Bonfire that says, if it was easy to do, anybody could do it.
Well, it's not easy to do. I think that's pretty obvious. Those of you who've been with us before, those of you that are touched, of course, by Texas A&M, tremendous amount of work to put that together. And by the way, that is not useless use of wood. The wood is basically the type thing that's going to be gotten rid of. It is not...
That's right. This wood is from some land that's being cleared for some strip mining, and the lumber, the wood was going to be plowed under anyway. And so we just removed it from the land and did a favor for the people who are using the land for the strip mining purpose.
We point that out because every time anyone sees anything a little unusual, they always look to the downside. Really, there aren't very many, especially the safety factor. The safety is a very big thing here with this bonfire, and I think we're just about set to get underway, aren't we?
Well, we're ready to set the we're getting ready. Yell practice is going to start right now. The head yell leader's on the stand. He's ready to go. This is Waylon Kane, class of 90, senior head yell leader. He's going to start a yell practice.
One thing we'll call on Don to do through the course of this is explain some of the background. It's a very traditional situation.
All right, Army, listen up. Okay, tonight's bonfire. What happens at bonfire? Everybody has a good time, right on me? Yeah, I do. Listen up, I got something to say first. The last court trip. It was Judgment Day in Aggie Land, and tenseness filled the air. All knew that a trip was at hand, but not a soul knew where. Assembled on the drill field was the entire fighting Texas Aggie 12th man. And the entire fighting Aggie team and the Texas Aggie band. And out in front with Royal Guard, the judging party stood. St. Peter and his angel staff were choosing bad from good. First he surveyed the Aggie team, and in the terms of an angel swore, "By Jove, I do believe I've seen this gallant group before. I've seen them in days gone past. I've seen them win and I've seen them lose, but they've always had the grit. I've seen them win, I've seen them lose, but I've never seen them quit. There's no need for us to tarry here, deciding upon their fates, because as plain as this halo upon my head, they've opened heaven's gates. And when the 12th man heard this, they let out a mighty yell, which echoed up to heaven, and it shook the gates of hell. St. Peter asked his aide, "Who is this that stands upon this side?" St. Peter asked his aide, "It seemed to swell at the burst with pride when we our judgment made." "Why, sir, that's the Cadet Corps." explained to me that within the realms of heaven, they should spend eternity. And let the band strike up the play, for on this day we too must make and decide their very fate. And the drum major, upon hearing this, slowly raised his hand and said, "Boys, let's play the spirit for the last time in Aggie land." And the band poured forth the anthem in notes both bright and clear. And 40,000 Aggie voices sang the song we hold so dear. And when the band finished playing, St. Peter wiped his eyes and said, "It's not so hard to see why they're meant for paradise." And the colonel of the cadet corps said, while he stiffly took his stand, "Hey, it's just another court trip, boys. We're gonna march in behind the band."
That's a traditional poem that's read only at the bonfire over here, the last corps trip. And you'll note that the head yell leader this year, Greg, did it extemporaneously without referring to his notes.
A lot of work, a lot of work.
And this is the first yell they're going to do. This is gig 'em. Remember, there are no cheers here, they're yells. Practice is continuing. Perhaps people will notice that we don't have cheerleaders, we have yell leaders, and we don't have megaphones either. Everything is by hand signal, Greg.
And there you see some.
Everything is by hand signal. Everybody knows the yells. And now here's the second yell, Aggies. Camera as they can get a close-up on some of this crowd, but being an Aggie is a family matter. There are little children here, there are senior citizens here. It's not just students. These are people that are Aggies from the time that they're born.
There's a gentleman right below us that has really been into all of the cheers.
He's got to be what, 65, 75?
I would think so. Once an Aggie, always an Aggie.
That's right. Once an Aggie, always an Aggie. We have no ex-students here. These are former students.
Tonight, President, University, Dr. William Mobley. Let's give him a big Aggie welcome, Army.
Head yell leader has introduced the President, William Mobley, again.
Howdy,
Mobley's going to address the crowd now.
It's a great night for the bonfire, and let me start by congratulating the student leadership, the yell leaders, and the Red Pots for the great job they've done this year preparing bonfire. And all of you, the student body, for cooperating and making this a safe and a superb bonfire. And the outhouse is still up there, isn't it? Every year, as you know, before the UT game, Aggies assemble a huge bonfire with the
crowd
intent
wanted him
of
to say the TU
beating
game.
the hell out of TU, but also symbolizing that great Aggie spirit and love for this great institution that we all are so proud of. I know you join me in congratulating R.C. Slocum and his staff and the super team here behind us for all they've done this year on and off the field to add to the greatness of this year and this great university. Have a great night, and tomorrow at Gig 'em Aggies. Thank you.
All right, listen up. Now, we're going to man's bus long way this year, bus athletic program long way.
It's a
Coach
big thrill
R.C.
for
Slocum,
R.C.
Aggies,
Slocum.
give
This is his
him
first opportunity to greet the folks at Bonfire.
That's right. This is R.C. Slocum's first bonfire as coach.
Howdy. You know, it's been an exciting week for me. I went out to the Elephant Walk yesterday. I finally got all that soap out of my hair.
Elephant Walk, that's the seniors have a little parade on
A couple
campus.
of weeks ago, I was out here. Went up on the bonfire and managed to get through that without falling off and breaking my neck. Jane Mobley was up there one stack higher than I was, too. But I can tell you, after going up there, I have a much greater appreciation for all the work, and the way you put that thing together is just amazing. And I congratulate everybody that worked on this bonfire. What a great job. You know, it's a little bit cool out here tonight, but about 3:07 tomorrow, things gonna heat up quite a bit over here across the street. I've got some guys up here on this platform, been here 4 years, some of them 5 years, and they don't have any idea what it is to lose to TU. And they promised me that they're not going to learn. We've kind of grown to liking this deal. I'm going to ask some of them to come up, come up and talk to you. We might let all of them talk to you. But right now I got Gary Jones, a senior defensive back from Tyler, Texas.
Howdy, Eggs!
Notice everybody says howdy. That's the traditional greeting at Texas A&M.
Got pretty good athletes over there. I mean, honestly, they got some good guys over there, but we must got great athletes over here because we done beat them 5 years in a row, you know? I'm a senior this year, and I played them 3 years in a row, and I'm 3-0. I got one more time left. Why not make it 4? Thanks a lot.
Got another guy here that's been here 5 years. Outstanding student, has been a great player for us. Richmond Weld from Dallas, Texas.
Howdy, Ants. How y'all doing tonight? All I got to say is we got them in the house this time, baby. That's the way I want to go out. We was talking this week in the meetings Coach Slocum had. He's senior to get up and say what it's been to be here at A&M. And Aaron Wallace, one of his seniors, he said it the best to me. He said words can't explain it. I mean, it just means so much to be here at a place like A&M. There's nowhere else like this. I started off telling the freshmen about how it was my freshman year. I didn't know what to expect. And then we got out there on Cal Field. It was like I couldn't hear anything. So tomorrow when the defense is out there playing, I don't want to hear nothing but loudness.
It's pretty loud.
I ain't gonna write too many checks tonight, you know. I'm a man that carries an impact card. I might need money 24 hours a day. So if they want to shut now, we can play them now.
Senior wide receiver, Percy Waddle.
Howdy, these old sippers coming in the house. But I tell you what, we got a surprise for them. The Aggies gonna kick them all over Kyle Field. As y'all know, we didn't get y'all our performance last week, but we're gonna give y'all one next week against the Longhorns. I want y'all to know that the Aggies is number one in the house at Kyle Field. Hey, when our defense is on the field, I don't want to hear nothing but Aggies.
Let's go and talk to that guy. It's done in 4 years. All week long, we've had to answer the question, can we bounce back? We're going to be up for the game. I assure you, this football team's got a lot of character. I think they showed you last week, when they were down 14-0, they just dug down a little harder and came back. So I guarantee you, tonight afternoon, we're going to have a heck of a time. And again, all the games we play here at Kyle Field, you've been a big, big factor. And we expect for you to be a factor tomorrow. Thank you.
R.C. Slocum and some of his players will be back with more from Bonfire live from Texas A&M after this message.
All right, we're back live at the Texas Aggie Yell Prize Bonfire. They've just got through sawing varsity's horns off. They refer to the University of Texas as varsity because it was the university while this was still the A&M college.
They also, as we pointed out before, a true Aggie will refer to it only as TU or Texas University.
That's right. That's right.
Not really right, but it is as far as Aggies are concerned.
Well, it's right as far as Aggies are concerned, and it's lowercase, small t, small u, Texas University. The idea is it's not the University of Texas as far as Aggies are concerned. It's just a university named Texas.
And they're very proud, of course, of the recent record in football against the University of Texas. As several of the players, I think Percy Waddle has to get an Academy Award for his job on the stand, having won the last several in a row and trying to keep that string alive tomorrow.
This will be 6 in a row tomorrow. What they're doing now is farmers fight. This is thought of as an agricultural college for so many years, and they were referred to as the farmers before they were Aggies.
And really, the incredible growth of Texas A&M. When you were a student, what, 7,000 students,
we
all
had
male?
6,000 students, all male and all military when I was here in the 50s. Now we have 40,000 students and a very diverse student body from every state in the nation and from many, many foreign countries. And it is a major research university. We're now the 6th largest university in the country.
That's why it's amazing, too, that the traditions have been able to withstand the growth. What are we doing here?
This is the locomotive yell, which is the only yell that we do that's even similar to anybody else's yell. To sing the Spirit of Aggie Land now, which is our alma mater. That we've never referred to it as alma mater, but that's what you would call it if you were at another school. So Spirit of Aggie Land, and let's take a listen to it. Aggies out there watching on television know that was not the spirit of Aggieland. We've gotten a little ahead of ourselves here in the format.
Let's pray. Our Father, sometimes we have to hang our head and ask for forgiveness for some of the things we do. But we know that in the back of our mind and down in our hearts, that if we were all good Ags all the time, we'd be pretty close to what you want us to be. Please hear us say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and power.
Alright, one last over talking.
Alright, I know. Did all y'all come out here and have a good time bonfire? Right on me! Alright, well that's great. Y'all have a good time, so you be careful. Two things I want to talk to y'all about tonight. I know y'all read in the paper and heard on the news all this trash about bonfire not going to be here next year and the years following, Army. Well, I'm here to tell you, Rez. I'm here to tell you it's going to be here next year, the year after, and the year that my kids are up here on me. Rez, because I tell you what, as long as they're asked to go to A&M, bonfire is going to be built. And I regret to say there are some people at Texas A&M that aren't Aggies and don't want traditions like bonfire to go on.
Okay, the yell practice is going on now, and I think we need to take a little break now. So we'll be back with the Fighting Texas Aggie Bonfire yell practice right after these messages. Okay, we're back live at Aggieland with the 1989 Fighting Texas Aggie Bonfire, and as I prematurely suggested the Spirit of Aggieland was going to be played, we're really going to do it now.
Okay, Waylon Kane has really put on an extra show, so to speak, up here. He's really done a great job leading this yell practice, and once they get started here, it is underway now. Let's listen. got, if they are going back to format, Don, they're still not finished yet.
No, the yell practice is still going on. We're nearing the end, though. This will be the next to the last yell, and they'll end traditionally the same way they end all yell practice. Suggestion on what was going to happen on the football field tomorrow. They're going to do it again because they want to be sure that this is indeed a yell practice. They're going to practice.
Let them hear us in Austin, Ornate.
They say they want to hear it in Austin. 50,000 Aggies yelling. They've indeed heard that 90 miles away in Austin, Texas.
And I think it's important for us to bring up for the fans around the country, the sports fans that are watching, this happens every year regardless of the records of the two schools coming in. It doesn't matter whether the Aggies are having an off year, Texas having an off year, they're both going for the championship. This happens every year.
This happens every year. This is one of the traditional rivalries. They're ending with the same yell they end every yell practice with right now. Practice. We talked about the Red Pots tonight, Greg. The folks that worked on this bonfire and led the way, and we've got a few comments from the Red Pots that we had to record earlier because they're busy out there now. So let's see what the Red Pots have to say about building this bonfire.
Bonfire is something that not a lot of people understand. It's just a common bond that every student and every former student in this university, all come together and say, one time I worked on that fire, and it's something that means a lot to everybody because it's the one major, probably the biggest event that this school goes through is when it plays Texas. And everybody in the school comes out and has at one time come out and seen it and one time come out and worked on it, and they all say, gosh, it's just the greatest thing that we've done out here. It's something that nobody else anywhere in the world does, and it happens every year, and it's just the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Well, Bonfire has been a very unique experience for me. I cherish it more than just about anything I've done so far in my life. I have learned management. I've learned how to work with people, how to lead people. It's been, I think, for all the Red Pots, it's been an experience that they'll cherish the rest of their lives. And that goes for all the students that work on Bonfire. Now, they never forget it.
I had a person from Texas Tech come up here, and they were saying, yeah, we were in town, so we decided to stop by. We built a bonfire ourselves, and we came here to see the real thing. And that really makes you feel good when people come over and say, God, just their eyes get big. That's bigger than I ever thought it could be,
It's an ending. It's an ending of something that we've spent all our time on out here, and it's of course it's going to be very sad. The thing that I will regret the most is never being able to do this again.
Greg Lucas back on the stand with Lance Pavlis. Lance, a junior, so you got to see what the seniors, what kind of an act you got to follow now next year when you're standing up here talking to the crowd.
Well, tonight's going to be a tough act to follow. I think it's everybody's really excited about the game tomorrow. It's going to be a great game.
Well, it's a big one always, and I know that you want to keep that record going.
Definitely so. We'd like to keep that winning record against Texas, but it's going to take great effort on our part. They're going to be ready to play just like we are.
Okay, we got to have a chance to say hi to. We want to say congratulations, Gary Jones and Richmond Webb. You guys did your part on the thing, so congratulations. Good luck tomorrow. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Don, we got to bring you in.
Okay, beat them up tomorrow for us. Okay. Okay, good. You can see how big these guys are next to me. I'm pretty big myself.
Hey, Don, I've had fun.
This has been a great bonfire tonight.
So long,
it's been
everybody.
A great time. We're glad you joined us here on HSE.
Services for tonight's bonfire have been provided by 3C Barbecue and by Lion 800 Communications. Aggie Bonfire, live from Texas A&M University in College Station, has been brought to you tonight by Granada Foods and Granada Biosciences, two companies providing excellence in food and genetic products. Recently named by the Wall Street Journal as companies among a select few poised to lead businesses into the 90s, expanding both domestically and internationally by being leaders in their exciting fields. Granada Foods and Granada Biosciences, companies of the 90s. And by the Association of Former Students at Texas A&M University, 150,000 members strong.